Hidden tunnels beneath pyramids, sealed off temples, and chambers locked away for centuries.
The Great Pyramid was sealed. It was a sealed monument.
Lost history or extraterrestrial ties.
The Great Pyramid was built with a level of technological sophistication far in excess of anything that we have today.
Join us as we dig deep to uncover the truth of these restricted sites, where even top experts aren't allowed to enter.
I was standing before this Great Pyramid. I understood nothing. I took every possible literature from Central American archaeologists to learn what's this all about.
Ellora is home to over 30 cave temples, all carved straight into the mountainside, and the most jaw-dropping one of all is the Kailash temple. This thing is nearly twice the size of the Parthenon, and somehow ancient builders removed over 400,000 tons of rock to create it. Its size makes it one of the biggest monoliths in the world. Even with modern tech, pulling off something like this in just 18 years sounds insane. Now, while mainstream historians chalk it up to sheer manpower, some fringe theorists think there's more to the story. Local legends whisper about hidden caves beneath the complex, caves leading to a massive underground chamber filled with mysterious energy machines and ancient devices. Some even claim these tools weren't of human origin at all, but gifts from beings not of this world. The Great Pyramid of Giza.
So this is it, the Grand Gallery. If you look at this and you think they made this more than 4,000 years ago, they actually built this.
For all the hype surrounding the Great Pyramid, a huge chunk of it remains off limits, even to top archaeologists. The Queen's Chamber, for example, has been sealed for years, and no one really knows why. Then there are the lower shafts beneath the King's Chamber, which seem to drop into the depths of the pyramid itself. Back in the 90s, a small robot was sent down one of these shafts. It crawled through the narrow passageway until it hit a tiny stone door with metal handles. Something that, as far as we know, shouldn't be there. Another probe drilled through and found yet another sealed chamber. So what's behind that one? A lost tomb? Ancient blueprints? Maybe something that would shake up history itself. But until they send another robot or finally let someone in, we're left with nothing but speculation.
Pyramids were actually geomechanical devices. They were attached to the earth. They were tuned to vibrate with the frequencies of the earth.
Mogao Caves. The Mogao grottos in China are packed with ancient art, murals, statues, and scrolls that go back over 1,000 years. This place is basically a time capsule of Buddhist history, with over 700 caves carved straight into the cliffs. Some of them are open to visitors, but a lot of them? Completely off limits. Now, officially, that's to protect the delicate artwork. Too many tourists breathing all over 1,000-year-old murals could speed up their decay. But here's where it gets interesting. Some caves have been sealed shut for ages, and even researchers haven't been allowed inside. Could they really just be protecting ancient paintings? Or is something else hidden in those forbidden chambers? Maybe lost scrolls, secret relics, or something even stranger? The Secret Library. The Vatican's secret archives. Just hearing that name is enough to make conspiracy theories run wild. This place isn't just a big old library with dusty manuscripts. It's a locked down vault filled with centuries-old records, rare documents, and who knows what else. Some of this stuff dates back over 1,000 years, and only a select few get anywhere near it. Even top historians have to jump through insane hoops just to see a single file. Now, officially, it's all about preserving history, but let's be real. When something's this secretive, people start asking questions. Are there lost gospels hidden away? Proof of ancient cover-ups? Maybe even evidence of something much bigger? Whatever's in there. Unless you plan on becoming the Pope, you'll probably never find out. Lost legends. Back in 1909, an article in the Arizona Gazette claimed a guy named G.E. Kincaid stumbled upon something unreal in the Grand Canyon, an ancient cave stuffed with Egyptian artifacts. We're talking statues, tools, and even hieroglyphics covering the walls. And the wildest part, supposedly there were mummies, but not just any mummies, giant ones. Kincaid allegedly sent some of these relics to the Smithsonian, but they denied ever receiving them. That of course only fueled the fire. Some believe the government covered it all up, sealing off the cave and stationing guards to keep people out. Was this proof of an ancient Egyptian colony? Or maybe something even older? Whatever the case, that cave has never been found again. Ruins of Copan. Tucked away in the dense Honduran jungle, the ruins of Copan hold more than just crumbling temples and stone monuments. The Maya, known for their obsession with time and the stars, left behind intricate glyphs carved into towering stelae, some of which seem to depict something far stranger than kings and gods. A celestial message, a countdown, maybe even something meant for beings beyond Earth. Then there's Rosalila, a temple hidden beneath another, perfectly preserved as if locked away on purpose. Inside, bizarre carvings show figures that some claim look eerily like astronauts. Helmets, tubes, even something resembling a breathing apparatus. Were the Maya recording something they saw? Or were they trying to keep something contained? Whatever the case, Copan still isn't giving up all its secrets. Sealed door. Padmanabhaswamy Temple in Kerala, India, is home to one of the craziest treasure discoveries in modern history. In 2011, when officials cracked open 5 of its 6 underground vaults, they found a mind-blowing stash of gold, diamonds, crowns, you name it. Some say it's the largest hoard of treasure ever uncovered. But then there's Vault B, the one no one's allowed to open. When they tried, they ran into layers of doors, metal, wood, iron, all tightly sealed. A locksmith was called, but the royal family of Travancore stepped in and shut the whole thing down. They claim opening the vault would unleash a terrible curse. And honestly, if any door in the world looks cursed, it's this one. Library of Alexandria. The Library of Alexandria was supposed to be the ultimate vault of human knowledge. Scrolls from across the world, lost sciences, forgotten histories, maybe even ancient tech that never made it to our time. Then just like that, it was gone. Fires, wars, political chaos, and whatever the cause, centuries of knowledge just disappeared. Or did it? Some believe that fragments of the library still exist, buried beneath modern Alexandria. The problem? The city is built right on top of its own ruins, and tearing up streets in search of scrolls isn't exactly on Egypt's to-do list, but there are whispers that some of the library's works were smuggled out before the destruction, hidden away in private collections or secret archives. If true, that means some of history's greatest lost works might not be lost at all, just waiting for the right person to find them. Emperor Qin Shi Huang. China's legendary terracotta army is famous, but the real mystery, the tomb it was built to protect, Emperor Qin Shi Huang's actual burial chamber, has never been opened. It's been sealed for over 2,000 years. Historians believe it's packed with treasure, artifacts, and maybe even long-lost secrets of the ancient world, but no one dares go in. Why? Well, for starters, the place is supposedly loaded with mercury rivers, designed to give off deadly fumes. Soil tests even found high mercury levels around the site. Then there's the issue of booby traps. According to legend, the emperor set up hidden weapons to take out anyone foolish enough to disturb him. Between poison and possible ancient security systems, it's no wonder archaeologists are hesitant to crack it open. Cave of Mummies. Deep in Guanajuato, Mexico, there's a cave filled with some of the most unnervingly well-preserved mummies you'll ever see. Thanks to the dry air and mineral-rich environment, these bodies didn't just decompose, they practically froze in time. Some of them still have hair, intact clothing, and expressions that make it seem like they're seconds away from gasping for air. Archaeologists have studied a handful, but much of the cave is totally off-limits. Officials claim it's to protect the delicate remains, but locals whisper about something else. Some believe the deeper chambers hold even older mummies, ones that aren't quite human. Others say the cave has a history of people entering and never coming out. Whatever's hiding in that darkness, it's staying locked away, for now. Mount Kailash. Mount Kailash in Tibet isn't just a mountain, it's a mystery wrapped in sacred legends. Hindus and Buddhists consider it the center of the universe, a place so holy that no one is allowed to climb it, not for lack of trying though. Over the years, climbers have either mysteriously turned back or, according to some, vanished without a trace. Then there's the temple at its base, rumored to be sitting on something far bigger than just religious history. Legend has it that the underground chambers are filled with lost artifacts, ancient technology, or even a hidden city. But here's the thing, no one's allowed to dig, search, or even get too close. Whether it's superstition or something more, the mountain remains untouched, guarding its secrets as it has for centuries. Sacsayhuaman. Sacsayhuaman. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but this stone fortress above Cusco, Peru is one of the wildest feats of Inca engineering. These massive stones, some weighing over 100 tons, fit together so perfectly that not even a razor blade can slide between them. No mortar, no gaps, just pure precision. Here's where things get interesting. No one really knows how the Incas moved these behemoths, let alone stacked them like a giant ancient jigsaw puzzle. Some suspect lost construction techniques. Others wonder about advanced pre-Inca civilizations, or even something more otherworldly. Then there's Chinana, a sealed-off underground tunnel rumored to connect the fortress to the Temple of the Sun. Could there be more hidden chambers or relics beneath Sacsayhuaman? If so, they're staying secret for now. Bosnian Pyramid.
This is the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, as I later named it. What I could see when I was driving around was 4 sides, 4 triangular faces, 4 corners, the same slope from bottom to the top.
Now here's a shocker for you guys. In the hills of Bosnia, there's a so-called mountain that might not be a mountain at all. The Pyramid of the Sun, as it's now called, caught the attention of archaeologist Samir Osmanagic when he noticed its eerily perfect 4-sided shape. When he started digging, he found massive stone blocks stacked together, with traces of ancient cement binding them, something that shouldn't exist in nature. Carbon dating suggested the structure could be over 35,000 years old, making it far older than the Great Pyramids of Egypt. But just as things were getting interesting, the dig was shut down. A top Egyptologist pressured the Bosnian government to stop the excavations, claiming it was all a hoax. And just like that, the story disappeared. Yet satellite images show 2 other pyramid-shaped formations nearby, hinting that this site could be part of something much bigger, maybe even an entire lost civilization wiped from history.
The tunnel network was built 30,000 years ago, the oldest underground construction on the planet. We can breathe excellent. As a matter of fact, deeper we go, we breathe better and better. Not very logical, but nothing in Bosnia is logical.
Sphinx.
When you look at the Sphinx with a geological eye, this was not weathered by wind and sand.
The Great Sphinx of Egypt has always been shrouded in mystery, and despite the 3 visible entryways, officials insist there's nothing inside, but some leaked footage suggests otherwise. 2 daring explorers snuck in while guards were distracted, snapping photos of an offshoot tunnel no one's ever mentioned before, one that leads straight into the body of the Sphinx. Strangely, it's boarded up. Why block it off if there's nothing to hide? Some say this tunnel could lead to hidden chambers that might rewrite history. A fringe theory even claims the Sphinx was once an extraterrestrial base, abandoned during a cataclysmic flood, an event the erosion on its body supposedly proves. If true, that would be a secret worth guarding. And here's where it gets even weirder. The Sphinx might not just be a statue, but a gateway. The Syrian philosopher Iamblichus wrote about an underground tunnel system hidden inside, supposedly connected to the Great Pyramid. He described secret passageways so intricate that anyone trying to navigate them without a guide would just end up back where they started. If true, that means the Sphinx isn't just sitting on top of history. Then there's Edgar Cayce, the so-called sleeping prophet. This American psychic had a habit of making eerily accurate predictions. One of his boldest prophecies was that beneath the Sphinx's paws lies a hall of records, a vault preserving the true origins of humanity. He even claimed it would be discovered in the 1990s, and weirdly enough, in 1993, underground anomalies were detected near the Sphinx's front paws. Officially, there's nothing there, but officially doesn't always mean the truth. Bhangarh Fort. Bhangarh Fort in Rajasthan isn't just abandoned, it's off limits after sunset, with even the government putting up warning signs. Built in the 16th century, it was once a thriving town, but today it's nothing more than ruins. Officially, people left due to a famine. Unofficially, locals say the place is cursed. Some blame a sorcerer who fell for a princess and tried to bewitch her with a love potion. She outsmarted him and he was crushed under a boulder. With his last breath, he cursed the entire town. Soon after, disaster struck and Bhangarh was left to the ghosts. Those who sneak in at night report hearing whispers, footsteps, even bone-chilling screams. And then there are the ones who disappear forever. Submerged secret.
The monument has been altered by carving, and it has been very carefully carved into megaliths, platforms.
Off the coast of Yonaguni, Japan, divers found something that shouldn't exist. A sprawling stone monument with staircases, terraces, and near-perfect geometric angles. Some say it's just a natural formation, but nature doesn't carve right angles into bedrock. And what's even more shocking is this thing has been underwater for at least 10,000 years, meaning it predates every known civilization. While mainstream archaeologists dismiss it as a freak geological phenomenon, others believe it's evidence of a lost culture, maybe even the fabled Pacific continent of Mu. Similar anomalies, like Indonesia's Gunung Padang, suggest that human history is far older than we think. Some even claim these sites share architectural similarities with ruins in Peru, hinting at an ancient global network. If that's true, who were the builders, and why did they disappear?
There are all these different cuts that seem to be of artificial origin and not of a natural origin.
Japanese rock ship. Tucked away in Japan's mountains, a couple of massive stone mysteries have been raising eyebrows for years. The Ishino-Hoden monolith is a 500-ton rock slab carved so precisely it almost looks like it was machine cut. No one knows who made it or why, but old legends call it the Heavenly Rock Ship, a flying vessel used by gods to visit Earth. Then there's Masuda no Iwafune, an 800-ton chunk of granite shaped like, well, a giant boat. Its name literally means rock ship, and no one can explain how it was carved. Some say these weren't just monuments, but actual landing sites for something. Maybe even something not of this world. If the legends are true, ancient Japan might have had front row seats to some serious extraterrestrial action. Mystery Hill. Deep in the woods of New Hampshire, there's a place called Mystery Hill, better known as America's Stonehenge. It's a jumble of ancient stone chambers, standing stones, and tunnels, some of which line up perfectly with the sun and stars. No one's totally sure who built it. The safe bet is Native Americans, but then there's the weirder theory, ancient Celts. Yeah, you read that right. Some people think sailors from Europe made it to America thousands of years before Columbus and left their mark. The stonework looks a lot like stuff found in Europe, and some carvings even resemble old world scripts. If that's true, history books are way off. Maybe the Vikings weren't the only ones who got here first. Maybe we've been missing a whole other chapter. The Maya and aliens.
I was standing before this great pyramid. I understood nothing. I took every possible literature from Central American archaeologists to learn what's this all about.
Deep in the Guatemalan jungle, the ruins of Tikal rise like something out of a lost world. Towering pyramids, complex observatories, and shockingly precise astronomical calculations. It's almost as if the Maya had knowledge beyond their time. Some believe they did. Ancient legends speak of sky gods who brought wisdom to the Maya, and some carvings seem to depict figures in strange, otherworldly suits. The city's layout even mirrors constellations, almost like it was designed as a massive star map. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe Tikal wasn't just a city, it was a place where something not entirely human once walked among the Maya, passing down knowledge that still puzzles scholars today.
According to the ancient Maya myths, their main deity was Quetzalcoatl or Kukulkan, Kukumats, all those different names for the exact same deity, which was described to be a winged or a flying serpent.
Mexican cave. Back in 2018, archaeologists started digging in a cave under the ancient Mayan city in Mexico. The whole excavation was a laborious process and took them days to reach the bottom. The hard work paid off when they found a treasure trove 24 meters underground filled with hundreds of objects dating back centuries. Incense burners shaped like the Mayan rain god revealed valuable insights about ancient religious practices. The scientists even discovered small bones inside the relics. While this was a new development, the experts were convinced that this discovery will help them find more about the origins, lives, and beliefs of those who once lived in Chichen Itza. Antarctica mystery.
There have been a number of reports of pyramids, huge great pyramids, in Antarctica.
Antarctica, frozen, desolate, and definitely not a place you'd expect to find ancient ruins. But then came the satellite images, a massive pyramid-shaped formation sticking out of the ice, almost too perfect to be natural. Some say it's just a mountain, but others aren't so sure. For years, there have been whispers about strange structures buried under the ice, with reports of researchers spotting pyramid-like shapes eerily similar to those in Egypt. Some believe Antarctica wasn't always a frozen wasteland, that maybe, thousands of years ago, it was warm, habitable, and home to an advanced civilization. If that's true, then whatever's hidden beneath the ice isn't just old, it's ancient history waiting to be rewritten.
They jut out of the ice and snow, and they look perfect, just like those in Egypt.
Altamira Cave. The Altamira Cave in Spain is like a prehistoric art gallery, except no one's allowed inside. Discovered in 1879, its walls are covered with stunning bison paintings, some dating back 36,000 years. The level of detail is insane, almost like the artists were trying to bring the animals to life. For a while, people could visit, but too many tourists cramped up inside started damaging the artwork. By 1977, the cave was shut down, and now only a handful of researchers get access. There's a replica for visitors, but the real deal, locked away, maybe forever. Some even wonder if there's more in there. Symbols, secrets, maybe even something history wasn't meant to remember. Petra. Petra in Jordan is one of those places that looks straight out of a fantasy movie, an entire city carved into the rock. You've probably seen photos of the treasury, that iconic facade towering over the canyon. But there's way more to Petra than what tourists get to see. A lot of it is completely off limits. Tombs, chambers, and even whole sections of the city are sealed up, and only a select few have access. The Jordanian government is extra cautious about preserving the site, but some people think there's more to it. Rumors about hidden vaults, lost treasures, maybe even secrets buried beneath the sand are everywhere. Let me know your thoughts on this. Ancient ship.
What was particularly amazing about it was how this ship was built. There were no fixtures or fittings, it was all held together with beautifully crafted joints and tied together with rope.
Back in 1954, a truly remarkable discovery was made accidentally during a dig. It was this ship dating back to 4500 BC built for King Khufu. But here's the catch, it wasn't found in one piece like this. Instead, it was scattered in 5 different pits in complete ruins. An Egyptian archaeologist took on the monumental task of putting it back together. If there were a prize for the best puzzle assembler, it would go to him. This 143 feet long and 19.5 feet wide ship is one of the oldest and largest ever found in the world. Experts believed that it was used to transport Khufu's body from Memphis, where he lived, and to the Pyramid of Giza, where he was laid to rest.
The Khufu ship never actually went to sea because it was a funeral barge.
The Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant, one of history's most legendary relics, was said to hold the 10 Commandments and possess immense power. But after the Babylonian Empire conquered the Israelites, it just vanished. Destroyed? Stolen? Hidden away? No one knows. Ethiopian tradition claims the Ark rests in the St. Mary of Zion Cathedral in Axum, locked inside a small chapel. Only one man, a specially chosen monk, is allowed to see it. He never leaves the chapel, devoting his life to guarding it. Some say the Ark in Axum is just a replica, but since no one else is allowed inside, there's no way to prove it. If the real Ark is there, what else might be hidden with it? And if it's not, where did the real one go? In the middle of nowhere. This building in the mountains of Guizhou, China gives a new meaning to the whole abandoned place. A recent drone exploration led to this strange discovery. Hidden among the hills was this mysterious building that has raised many questions. The structure is present in such a remote location that no one knows how it was even built. Its purpose remains unknown, who constructed it or how the materials were transported to such an elusive spot. With limited exploration in the region and the location being difficult to access, the building remains a mystery, waiting for more to be uncovered. Could it be a base for secret operation or something far sinister was at play here? Let me know your guess in the comments. Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta in California is undeniably stunning, but it's also a hotspot for bizarre legends. Some believe an ancient civilization lives deep beneath it, while others swear it's a major UFO hub. Locals have their own theories, but the truth is, access to certain areas is tightly controlled. There are stories of hidden caverns, lost tunnels, and even ancient structures buried inside the mountain, but no one's been allowed to explore these so-called off-limits zones. Native American tribes consider the mountain sacred, which adds another layer of mystery, and even more restrictions. Sure, plenty of people hike the trails, but the real secrets? Those are locked away in the most remote, heavily protected areas. If something's hiding in there, the public isn't getting anywhere near it. Carnac stones.
Thousands of large stones have been arranged in very interesting patterns. They're arranged in intersecting lines that form triangles that could only be visible from above the earth.
Just south of Brittany, in the village of Carnac, over 3,000 massive stones stand in eerie, deliberate rows stretching for miles. These aren't just random rocks. Some weigh hundreds of tons, and they've been sitting here since the Stone Age, long before recorded history even began. Mainstream archaeologists say they're probably ancient tomb markers, but something about their layout feels way too precise. From above, the stones seem to form patterns, triangles, grids, and strange geometric alignments that look like they were designed with aerial perspective in mind. Some theorists believe they were placed this way on purpose, maybe as a message or even a landing guide for something or someone not from this world. Whatever their true purpose, the Carnac stones remain one of the biggest prehistoric mysteries in Europe.
But you have to wonder, what is the real purpose of these giant megaliths, and why would prehistoric people have moved all of these massive stones and placed them in the many alignments here at Carnac?
Russian Stonehenge.
It seems that Archaeum at some point was some type of an observatory, which I think is incredibly fascinating because it means that worldwide our ancestors witnessed other things that would explain this long-held fascination with the stars.
Back in 1987, archaeologists discovered the remains of an ancient settlement that dated back to 17th and 20th centuries BC, north of Kazakhstan. Most of the original megalithic structures no longer exist, making it one of Russia's most mysterious valleys. However, scientists were not discouraged by that and eventually mapped out its original design, which is similar to Stonehenge, known as the Archaeum. The structure is believed to have been an observatory for witnessing astronomical events. Apart from that, strange anomalies have been reported from the area, like magnetic inconsistencies, strange lights, and unusual fog formations, leading experts to believe this is an energy node on Earth that was used by aliens. Some even suggest it could be a platform for a spacecraft like a rocket.
So Archaeum has been described as Russia's Stonehenge. Now this is quite intriguing because it's a very similar latitude to Stonehenge.
Sayhuite monolith. In the hills of Peru, the Sayhuite monolith sits like an unsolved puzzle. This massive stone slab is covered in over 200 intricate carvings, twisting channels, and odd geometric shapes that no one can fully explain. Officially, it's believed to be an Inca artifact, maybe from the 15th or 16th century, but its true purpose is still up for debate. Some researchers think it was a scale model for an advanced irrigation system, a way for the Inca to test how water would flow before digging canals. Others argue it's a topographical map of a lost city, while others suggest it's something else entirely, maybe even a message left by an older, forgotten civilization. Ancient landing pad.
Baalbek, as we know from the archaeological evidence, must have existed during the Neolithic period, between 6,000 to 8,000 years or even 9,000 years BC.
Out in Lebanon's Bekaa Valley, Baalbek is packed with ancient ruins, but the real mystery isn't what's above ground, it's what's underneath. Sure, the Romans built some impressive temples here, but beneath all that, there's an even older foundation that some say is at least 9,000 years old. The base of this place is made of massive stone blocks, some weighing over 1,200 tons, and nobody can figure out how ancient builders moved them. Even with today's tech, we'd have a hard time pulling that off. Some say it was just insane human engineering, while others think this spot might have been more than just a temple, maybe even a landing site for something. Not from around here. Whatever the case, Baalbek is keeping its secrets locked up tight.
We don't know why Baalbek was chosen as this specific site. It may well be some kind of special power place, but what was originally there before the Roman temple was this spaceport platform that was apparently used for extraterrestrials coming and going on planet Earth.
Earthquake detector. Way back in the year 132, a guy named Huang built what might be the world's first earthquake detector, long before modern science even had a clue about seismology. It wasn't just some wild guesswork, it was an actual working device. The setup was pretty genius. A super sensitive pendulum inside would pick up tremors, and when things got shaky, a hidden mechanism would drop a bronze ball from one of several dragon heads straight into a waiting frog's mouth. The direction of the ball told people where the quake was coming from. And if this thing actually worked like they say, Huang was way ahead of his time. Crypt of Civilization.
Below me, preserved in a sealed crypt, is our calling card to the unknown future.
The Crypt of Civilization isn't your typical time capsule. It's not some tiny box buried in the ground. This thing is a full-on underground vault, sealed up in 1940 and designed to stay that way until the year 8113. Built at Oglethorpe University in Georgia, it was the brainchild of Professor Thornwell Jacobs, who was inspired by ancient Egyptian tombs and wanted to create a time capsule for the distant future. What's inside? Pretty much a slice of 20th century life. Books, films, a typewriter, a sewing machine, even recordings of famous speeches and radio shows. The idea was to give whoever opens it a real taste of our world. But here's the thing, technology moves fast. What if in 6,000 years nobody even knows how to play those recordings? Open discussion. A bizarre image has been making the rounds online, reigniting the whole ancient aliens debate yet again, but no one seems to know where it actually came from. While digging around, I found something eerily similar. An uploader claimed to have stumbled upon it carved into the side of a mountain while hiking. The carving? A humanoid figure, almost alien-like, wearing what looked like a mask and holding a vault in its hands. Some believe it's a secret doorway, possibly requiring some kind of code to enter. Others aren't buying it, calling it a modern creation rather than an ancient relic. But with so many hidden, barely accessible places around the world, who's to say how much of human history is still waiting to be uncovered? Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again,